3 lines of code. We've got an incremental achievement working, we've got a one-time achievement working, and we have a leaderboard set up with 3 simple lines of code. Here, the complete level button, and we see here that we got an unlocked achievement banner. Complete our first level. Let's click the leaderboards button, and it's going to load all of the leaderboards. So this is what our achievements list will look like. So hello and welcome back to the How to Become a Developer with No Prior Experience step-by-step tutorial. Today we are going to be configuring achievements and leaderboards with Google Play game services and testing them on our real Android device. If you did not follow last tutorial, we are picking up right where we left off, so we already have the plugin configured. So if you haven't already seen that tutorial, go back and watch that now, but otherwise, let's get right into it. Okay, so hopping over here to the Google Play console, you're going to want to come down here to Grow Users, Play Game Services, Setup and Game Management, and let's start with achievements today. If you haven't made any achievements, your screen will be blank like this. Go ahead and go Create Achievement. So there's 2 types of achievements that we're going to go over today. There's incremental achievements and non-incremental achievements. So let's start with a non-incremental achievement. We'll call this one Complete Your First Level. We'll award this to the player after completing the first puzzle, and we won't make this incremental for now, and we'll keep the status to revealed. Hidden are when you want to show that the user cannot see them until they've actually achieved. So here we can see here we only have 2,000 experience points to give from our application. So for something simple like this, complete your first level, maybe we'll just go ahead and keep that at 5 experience points. So come down here and go save as draft. Now let's hop back to achievements, and now let's make an incremental achievement. So let's go add achievements, create achievement, and we'll go here, complete 50 levels. Awarded to the player after completing 50 puzzles. And now I'm going to go ahead and make this achievement incremental, and I'm going to say 50 steps needed because we want to award this achievement after the player's completed 50 puzzles, and so we're going to take 50 steps. I'm going to keep that as revealed, and since completing 50 levels is quite a big deal, I'm going to maybe award the player 100 experience points for completing this achievement. We see here draft available to testers. So when you are publishing to open beta track or production track, you're going to need to make sure that your achievements are published publicly. But for now, we can actually just keep these as testing achievements. So we can go ahead and keep them as draft achievements, and they're still going to pop up on our screen as long as you have them configured as a tester in your beta test link that we configured in a couple tutorials ago. Okay, so next step is hopping over to our code, and you're going to need to add a child node to the base node of where you want to have the player get the achievement. So here we have as a quick reminder, we have our level select screen, and loading into the level we have a game screen here. And so in the game screen is actually where the achievement is going to be given. So I need to load the node required to give the player the achievement in the game screen scene. So over here I need to go add child node, and we're going to add a play games achievements client. And now for our purposes, we're going to have this ready button. Since we don't have any of the game logic yet, the idea of this is, let's get the achievements and leaderboard infrastructure set up so that once we start getting the game logic, it's all very easy and we can start plugging in from there. So once we get the the achievements and the leaderboards plugged in the next tutorial, we're going to configure AdMob. We've got 0-click frictionless sign-in, and so now we're starting to roll in all this backend infrastructure and configuration stuff so that moving forward we can just focus on the game logic, which in my opinion is the most fun part. So for now, all I want to do is let's just add a button for testing purposes here. Let's just go ahead and add a button. And let's just say complete level. So when we click this button, it's just going to automatically complete the level. And I'm going to attach the onPressed function. over here. And so to give the player the achievement for completing their first level, what we need to do is go complete this first level. We need to grab this ID value here of the achievement. So go ahead and copy that and hop back over to your code. And it's as easy as calling this piece of functionality. Unlock achievement, and then pass in the string value. So now we see, we would normally call this piece of code at some point when the player actually, does something to complete the level after the level's been completed, but we're not going to worry about that logic right now. So for now, the level is going to be completed right when we hit this button. So in the same sense, let's just quickly log some piece of code here that brings us back to the home screen. Just want to write a little piece of code here that's going to return us to the main scene. And we'll call back to change scene to file. We'll call back to the main game screen. Okay, so now we load the level 2, and let's just say we're going to complete the level, and we're loading back to the main screen. And so now we've got some sort of looping functionality here. So we'll assume that this logic would be called in the case where we're solving the puzzle and we're hopping back to the main screen. But in addition to this, this is the piece of code that we're most interested in. So the player is going to unlock this achievement when they click this button. So now the other thing that we want to do is we want to increment our completed levels, complete 50 levels achievement. And so once again, all you have to do is take this value here for the complete 50 levels achievement and hop back over to your Godot, and there's just a slightly different function we need to call. So you can call the same node, play games achievement client, but then here you want to go increment achievement and pass the ID of the achievement you're sending and by how many steps. So in this case, we're going to add 1 step because the player has completed 1 puzzle. And so each time, if the player were to push this button 50 times, we would go ahead and give the player this achievement, and it would automatically be unlocked by when the value here has achieved the amount of steps required on the backend that we've configured. So these are the 2 functions you'll be calling from the Play Game Achievements client. You'll be calling unlock achievement and increment achievement. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add a leaderboard to our game. Once again, if you haven't added a leaderboard, it's going to be a raw screen like this. So go ahead and create your first leaderboard. And perhaps we'll have some type of timing mechanism, some type of countdown mechanism. Once again, tamper protection sort of highest, and that's about it. So once again, come here, save as draft, grab this string, and hop back over to your code. So let's assume here we're going to call some function called calculate player score. And assuming there's some type of logic here, we're going to maybe take how long the player took, how many incorrect words they put, how many letter tiles they had to redo and subtract from their score. But for now, for the learning purposes, all we have to do here is go play games leaderboards client dot submit score and pass in that string that you got from the backend. And just for learning purposes here, we're just going to go ahead and give the player a score of 100. Okay, so that's about all there is to it, to configuring your code to unlock achievements, increment achievements, and submit leaderboard scores. Remember, if you set a string value, you'll have to pass a string value here, but since our backend is configured to take integer values, that's why we're passing an integer value here. You can see here you can go number, duration, currency. I'm keeping it as number, and so I'm sending a number on the back end of the code as well. In this case, 100 hard-coded. Now you're going to want to program a way for the player to see their achievements in game. And so let's make a couple icons here that the player can push so they can check on the leaderboards and they can check on their current achievement status. Okay, so I've imported some assets over here, my achievements.png and my leaderboards.png. These are the two icons I've been using across my game, so just to keep the branding straightforward, that's what I'm going to continue using. So we're going to need to add two new texture buttons, and we'll call this the achievements button, and we'll make another node, another texture node called the leader. We need a texture button, and we'll call this one the leaderboard button. And now we just want to add two onPressed functions for each of these buttons. Okay, very good. And now since we're going to be loading our achievements and loading the leaderboards in this scene as well, we're also going to need the play games achievements client and the play games leaderboards client in this scene as well, because we have the nodes in our game screen, but we don't have them in our main level select screen. So to show all of the achievements that the player currently has and the ones that they don't have unlocked, again, it is just one simple function call. So you can come here and go play games achievements client dot show achievements. That's the function you're going to call to show all the player achievements. And to show all of the leaderboards, you're going to call play games leaderboard client dot show all leaderboards. Give these guys our textures. So let's hop over here. And let's give them a texture. This is the achievements button. This guy a little bit smaller. Let's put it down here in the bottom left for now. I think eventually we might make some sort of menu bar that these will be in. But for now, just putting them down here makes a little bit of sense. Let's add the texture to the leaderboards button as well. Our size as our achievements icon. That's about right for now. Remember, we're just doing this to really talk about the functionality and how to make an app as quick as possible. We can always end up making it look pretty later. Okay, so here's our level select screen now. We've got our level selection options loading up here, and then we have our buttons down here. And remember, since the plugin is not found on our local emulator, we actually need to go ahead and export this to our phone in order for these buttons to work. So let's go ahead and create a new release of Fluzzle and release it to internal testing track on the Google Play console, and let's load it up on our phone and see if our added functionality is now working. So let's do an export, and I'll catch you over there. We'll pull up that internal testing link, and let's go ahead and get our update. So now we see here out of the first few achievements and leaderboards. So let's go ahead and grab that update. Once the update pops through, we see our zero-click frictionless sign-in is still working, and we've got our achievements and leaderboards button down here. So let's go ahead and try our completed level achievement first. So let's load into level 1, and I'm going to hit down here the complete level button, and we see here that we got an unlocked achievement banner, complete our first level. Okay, so very cool. And now we know that we also submitted a leaderboard score. So I went ahead and made my camera. There we go. Perfect. So here in the game screen, when we calculated the player score, we submitted a leaderboard score of 100. And so let's use our other features we added to go ahead and check that functionality. So let's click these buttons down here. Let's click the leaderboards button. And it's going to load all of the leaderboards. So when we go to highest puzzle score, you may see this screen here that sees there's no scores available yet. That's because it just doesn't happen immediately. So that might take a little bit of time to load. Total number of puzzles completed, and we incremented this achievement by 1 here in this line of code. So we'll also see a leaderboard submission there later. But for now, let's go ahead and check our achievements. And so this is what our achievements list will look like. So we've got here completed 50 levels. Oh, sorry, that's not a leaderboard increment. It's an achievement increment. So we can see here completed 50 levels. We got 2%, and so we completed 1 level. Obviously, there's 50 steps. So we've completed 50 levels. We got this achievement 2% complete, and the achievement we did complete is completing our first level. So our achievements are, I find the achievements are populated a lot quicker than the leaderboards, and they're populated right away. So now using this nice little achievements button, the player can go ahead and check on their achievements. Let's go back over to the leaderboard and see if the leaderboard has updated yet. It hasn't. Let's go ahead and play level 3, and we'll go ahead and complete level 3 again, and hop back over to the achievements, and you'll see here that we're already at 4%. So now we've completed 2 levels. So hopping back over here to level 1, go complete level, and we'll see here that this now says 6%. So our achievement incrementation is obviously working. Our achievement first level is obviously working. So our achievements are fully connected. Let's just hope here that maybe highest puzzle score has been submitted at this point. And there we go. Hey, if I toggle by friends, looks like the local leaderboard here has been updated quicker than it has the today leaderboard, the all-time leaderboard. But so there's our leader score, and you'll see this one will get populated eventually. I usually find that it takes a little bit longer, but here we go. There's proof that our leaderboard submissions are now working. Okay, great. Okay, so that is it for today's tutorial. Very, very simple. Now let's do a quick recap. Remember, we came down here to grow users, play game services, set up and game management. We set up a couple achievements. Eventually we will want to add an icon here, but that's simple. I'll let you do that by yourself. And we added a incremental achievement, completing 50 levels, and we added a one-time achievement, completing your first level. And so remember, the difference here is, we want to call the Play Games achievement client increment achievement with the step value, and the unlock achievement will go ahead and unlock it immediately. This achievement will be unlocked immediately when the step value is equal to the value that we've configured there on the Google Play console. And the other thing we did was add leaderboards. So again, we went here to our Play Games console, came over to leaderboards, added a leaderboard. You take this ID, and we've submitted the leaderboard score using this simple line of code. So with 3 lines of code, we've got an incremental achievement working, we've got a one-time achievement working, and we have a leaderboard set up with 3 simple lines of code. Thank you so much for watching. On the next tutorial, we will be integrating Google AdMob into our application on our phone. Of course, we are internally testing, so we will be setting up with testing ads, but the concept is exactly the same, so you can start earning money serving ads on your application. I will see you next time.